I am supposed to speak about creativity, dissidence, and women. Of course, dissidence means revolution. When you say no, when the law is unjust and you stand against the law to change it, they say you are a dissident. But when this dissidence is collective, when millions are dissident, then you call it revolution. So dissidence means one individual or few individuals, the pioneers, usually the pioneers in any country who paved the way for the revolution, they call them dissident. But when the whole nation come, as happened in Egypt, then we call it revolution. And what do you mean by creativity? I've been teaching creativity and dissidence for almost a quarter of a century, 25 years, teaching it in different universities, in different countries. So what do we mean by creativity? Creativity is not just writing novels or composing a piece of music. Creativity means to revolt against injustice. The revolution against injustice needs creativity. Without creativity, we cannot revolt. So creativity means a way of life, a philosophy in life. In your relationship, even in love relationship, you need creativity. In friendship, you need creativity. In any human work or endeavor, you need creativity. And creativity is not just something coming from heaven to few genius people. No, we are all creative. Everybody in this hall was born creative. Men and women, poor and rich, black and white, Swedish or Egyptian. We are all born creative. But what happens to us is that the educational system kills our creativity in all countries. I was teaching in the US, United States, and their educational system is supposed to be progressive, more progressive from Egypt, but I found it the same. It kills creativity because it divides knowledge. It doesn't give you a holistic vision of the world. I studied medicine. I graduated from the medical college. But I was ignorant. Maybe I was a good physician, but an ignorant human being about politics, about the world, about injustices, even about why people become sick. Most of the people become sick because either they don't eat well, they are poor, they are exhausted, they are unhappy. But we don't study that in medicine. We don't study why people become sick. We study only how to treat diseases by pills and something like that, or surgery, and that's it. That's why I felt that being a physician or a doctor is very uncreative to me. And I love writing, but I felt that writing novels is not enough. We need to go beyond our profession, our specialty. So the educational system should be changed. This is very, very crucial in order to change the whole world. And the whole world is a jungle because people are educated in a very bad way. And we receive pseudo-knowledge and not real knowledge. What is real knowledge? Is knowledge that make us better human beings, better physicians, better technicians, better lawyers. But when you look at the world, you see that every profession exploits the people. Doctors exploit the patients and take their money. Lawyers exploit you and take. So that's patriarchy, and that's class, and that's capitalism. Everybody is fighting for money and for their own interest. We are not educated in a sense that we help each other and revolt together for our liberation. No. We have to re-educate ourselves. That's why when I go to my class, the first lesson, the first topic I talk to my students, I tell them I cannot teach creativity because creativity is not taught. It's something you have to live it from birth to death. We have to live creativity, to feel it. So it's not something we have it only in school. It's at home, like democracy. You cannot have democracy politically in the parliament or elections. You go to the polls. Democracy is not going and voting. And that's why we have elections, so-called elections, but the world is a jungle. So I tell them I cannot teach creativity. I cannot teach dissidence, because dissidence also is a way of life. But what I can do is to undo what education did to you. And we need to do that. We need to change the educational system. We need to change the way we think. Education is built on injecting a lot of information into our mind. A lot of information, like the net. We are drowned in informations. Split information, pseudo-knowledge from here and there, no connections between all these domains. So we have a lot of information, but we are not knowledgeable. We don't know anything, and we are frustrated. So we need, number one, that we connect. Why I'm speaking to you like that? It's my experience. Because when I graduated from the medical college, I felt I cannot treat the patients. I was a chest surgeon and then chest physician. Most of my patients were tuberculosis patients, tuberculosis, and I was giving them pills to cure them or surgery to cut part of the lung, and that's it. And then they go to their real life and work undernourished, exhausted, so they have the disease again, reinfected again, and they come again. It's like that. So they were never cured. But then I started to understand that those patients are sick because they are poor, because they are exploited, because they are burdened by work, they are exhausted, they are unhappy. That's why they have the disease. In this hall, there is a lot of tuberculous bacilli all over. And who is infected is the people who have low immunity system. But because we eat well, we exercise, we have good air, and we are happy, relatively, and we are not exhausted by work, we have free time and weekends, then we do not have tuberculosis. We don't have the disease. So in fact, in order to be creative in medicine, or in politics, or in economics, or in writing novels, or anything, we need to connect. Number one, we have to undo the split of knowledge that we had from education. So we have to connect medicine to literature, psychology to economics, to politics, to history. I didn't understand the women problem except reading history. Because many people think women are oppressed because that's the natural law. You know, that there is a difference between the nature of men and women, and that's natural. Women are inferior in their mind, or something, hormonal or something. Many people think like that, and justify biologically that women should be inferior. But when I studied history, it was completely different. I discovered that in Egypt, our female goddesses, Isis, she was the goddess of knowledge. She was teaching people. And Sekhmet, she was the goddess of medicine. You know, so I discovered that women in history were higher in knowledge than men. But then when the political economic system changed to patriarchy and feudalism and capitalism, then, and women were, and religion, when religions, you know, if we study also the history of religions, we'll discover that women became inferior in religions because of the political system. In fact, religion is a political ideology. I spent 10 years studying the three major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and comparing the Old Testament to the New Testament to the Quran. And what I found that the three holy books oppress women. Of course, not to the same degree, but they oppress women. And they oppress the poor. There is a lot of class, patriarchal, race, value systems in all religions. So that's I started to know and to understand and be creative. So creativity is related to understanding, to knowledge, and knowledge comes from connection. True knowledge comes from connections and undoing the split between specialities. We specialize, and the more we specialize, the more we become ignorant. So we need to re-educate ourselves. Of course, we need to specialize, but we need more to connect all what we know, all these domains together to understand the world. And the world is built on that, the aggression, wars. Why we cannot stop wars? Billions of people are against wars. And millions of people demonstrate in the streets against wars. Vietnam War, war in Iraq, war in Palestine. You know, people, you here in Sweden, you demonstrated against many wars, but the wars are continuing. Why? Because of that, the lack of knowledge, that the millions of people are educated in a way that they don't understand politics. They don't understand why there is war, so they don't fight back. We fight back when we know